episode 145. Who's excited about that? You know what's even more exciting is right now I'm under tornado warning. What does that mean to non-Midwest termites or Southern termites? It means conditions are favorable to create a tornado. Warning. No, sorry, I'm under watch. Warning means one has been seen or spotted near you.
Right.
If in the event that happens, I will be getting Jameson and a pillow and leaving this podcast and hiding in a hallway because dipshit here forgot to build a basement. I've been looking into those shelters online, though. I like the ones that are underground, but I think my brother's right. By the time a tornado hit and shit, you're not going to run outside. No, you'd have to get in there way beforehand. Or you could put one in your garage, but it takes up a car slip. I don't need one that big.
No.
I'm going to talk to my friend Avi. He'll know what to do.
I'm going to buy you a hockey helmet.
Well, a hockey helmet would help, maybe, for flying objects, as Ron would say. It's not a matter of, what was his old joke about tornadoes?
That the wind is
It's
blowing.
not a matter that the wind is blowing. It's a matter of what the wind is blowing. Because when you get hit by a BMW. Anyway, moving on. What are we drinking? A little Golden State Cider. I'm not a huge cider person, but every once in a while, I'll get into one. This one is from Sonoma County, California.
Fancy.
Yeah, it is fancy. And in Sonoma, most of the people are doing wine. So good for these people for being smart enough to go, you know what? Fuck it. Let's don't do wine and go do wine season, by the way. Yeah, I didn't know that was in May. That's a thing. I didn't know that. Yeah. That's when I tried to get home after the medical emergency in the family. And then there were no flights out, and they're like, oh, well, it's wine season. What? It doesn't matter where I go. There's some bullshit of, welcome to Omaha. It's the world's little leagues. There's always a thing.
Right.
Anyway, no complaining. That's what we're drinking. What are we going to taste? Well, this just looked interesting. This is from, I bought this in Texas. It's called Melinda's Pizza Hot Sauce. You're supposed to put it on the pizza while you can put it on after you've made your pizza.
Delicious.
Yeah, I don't know. Or you could cook with it, I suppose. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Whoa.
No.
It's crushed red pepper.
Yeah.
Yes. It's very good, but she's only got 2 flames out of 5. No, that's Texas talking right there. No, Texas, that's 3 flames out of 5. Yeah. I do like it, though, now that I've had a bite. I want another bite.
3 flames.
These, I eat these all the time, and I've never done them on the podcast, but they're really good for the road, too. Crunchmaster, you guys like Crunchmaster?
Yeah.
It was a regular grocery store. The avocado toast one, delicious. I don't want to sound like one of those avocado toast people. You know the people.
Yeah.
No, I eat white bread, for Christ's sake. I mean, I'm so far away, but these crackers are delicious.
Great.
And they're a wonderful little road thing because they can go right next to my Haribo bears in my giant carry-on purse. And last but not least, we're going to try some Pringles enchilada flavor. Enchilada Adobada. I can't read it.
No idea.
I don't know.
I don't
Adobada.
speak Spanish.
I don't either. Enchilada Adobada. I like Pringles. But no.
You don't look impressed.
They don't really taste like anything. They taste like light barbecue. But why fuck with the regular Pringle? Or just eat a barbecue one.
Dump it in the pizza sauce.
I will not dump it in that pizza sauce. Well, they're fine, but this is where, before you make a can for it and get the art department involved and the marketing people, well, wasn't this at a random taste test on Friday in the office? Eat that. Do you think we should make more? Because the resounding answer probably would have been, nah. Figure out a different flavor. I don't know. I mean, and I like Pringles, but it's Mitch Hedberg's old joke. Do you think Pringles' original intention was to make tennis balls? Oh, Mitch Hedberg. Another comic that is now longer with us. Sad times. Now, here's something a termite sent, and all of it makes me laugh. And there's just one this week. This is from Kansas City, Missouri. Monica. She said, greetings. In May, I retired from Hallmark cards after 35 years.
Oh, cool.
I tried to get a job with Hallmark cards out of college. Yeah, I sent them a resume and stuff. Nothing. I got nothing. Man, I think it was St. Louis hate. It's Kansas City just shitting on St. Louis. Mm-hmm. But anyway.
Your Cardinals.
But, I mean, yeah, that's right. You and your Cardinals. You and your fancy hockey team. This lady retired after 35 years. Good for her. We're called Hallmarkers, which many people crack up, but we are. They crack up at. Great job, great company, great products. Well, that's great to hear that somebody liked where they worked for 35 years.
Yeah.
It changed a lot over the 35 years, especially rapidly in the past decade. It's still a great company. That's a great endorsement.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know Hallmark is based. She loves a Pubcast. Number one thing from the pandemic, work from home is number two. Oh, no, I think work from home should be above me. Absolutely. Work from home. Ask your pets. They're going to vote for work from home, not for me. She likes it. And then she sent, she said I may have, 2 boxes came. I just have a few things, but it's all so, and I'm going to give it to my sister and stuff too, but this is a like a sweatshirt deal, and it's got my Hallmark movie watching hoodie. I've never seen the hoodie.
Fun. How
great is that? Yeah. And then a whole set of pajamas that they're Hallmark movies. I know. I don't want to show everything because I'm going to give some of it away. It's for Christmas presents to my mom and my sister. They don't listen to this anyway. Then she said, this is hilarious. Hallmark Christmas bingo. So it's a real bingo card where you're watching your Hallmark movies if that's what you're into. I do watch them. And then on your bingo card, it's like ornament, wrapping gift, mistletoe, scarf and hat, kissing, not on the second Hallmark Mysteries and Movies or whatever. Yeah, murders. You can murders. Yeah, that's it. It's a Christmas murder. Come on, now see, why don't they have that category for me? They should have whole Christmas Hallmark murders, and we could do people who got murdered at Christmas time. Nice. It's so funny, though, and there's a lot of the cards. I'm very excited.
Fun.
It's quite a ways away. Then she sent me some free cards, just random cards, which, by the way, greeting cards are expensive. And I always think they'll fade out. No. They're not fading out. No, I keep thinking with, texting and email and all that.
Texting.
Well, I mean, you just text happy birthday. Do you actually still go get a card? I mean, on our family thread, if it's somebody's birthday, 27 people send emojis of things blowing up. Happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. I don't think you get cards for the kids, but they're hanging tough. Yeah. And they're not cheap. A greeting card, every time you pick up a card like a Walgreens or CVS, and then I go to check out, I'm like, what do you mean I owe you $74? Well, ma'am, you have this and your greeting cards. I'm like, oh, right, I forgot. Anyway, thank you, Monica. That made me laugh. So many things this week. Update! Oh, wait, my Queen news. Shit, I didn't print it out. Well, I know it by heart. I thought I printed it out. Tay-Tay, she's the only one I have news about. Everybody else has been extremely quiet. But at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, which is by San Francisco, she dropped off a shit ton of money to the food bank. They won't say how much, but it was enough to feed like 500,000 people. Yeah! It's just crazy great. Yeah! And her total in bonuses to truck drivers, dancers, everybody included, was $55 million. I would love to see the look on my accountant's face if I was like, hey, can I tip $55 million? Can I do that? Like, because I'm going to do it. So how are you going to figure out how this is going to work tax-wise? Just watch Sherry's head blow up. Well, Kathleen, I don't know about all that. I mean, that's a lot of money. Have you thought through all this? Yep, I have. I'm going to make $1 billion, so I'm going to tip $55 million.
Exactly.
Well, all right. I mean, I haven't really dealt with numbers quite that large. I'll have to actually sit down and concentrate.
Paddles gets number 1.
Paddles would be the first tip out. Yes.
Yes.
Update. I have no other Queen news. Share very quiet. Stevie's out on the road doing her thing with Billy Joel.
Oh.
Stevie alone is better.
Yes.
I don't need him headlining after her.
No.
I don't even think it's right with the universe. Just saying. Bed Bath & Beyond.
Uh-huh.
Two of the super fans, my friends Bob and Clark, I'm sure they're aware. It's back.
Nice.
So Overstock bought them, but now they're online. Overstock has officially relaunched the Bed Bath & Beyond domain online Tuesday in the U.S. after acquiring the bankrupt retail chain's intellectual property assets for $21 million. It's pretty cheap.
Pretty cheap.
Yeah.
It's a lot of towels.
They said in late, the online retailer Overstock said in late June that it was dumping its name online. It will become Bed Bath & Beyond, which declared bankruptcy earlier this year, as we all know if you listen to this. The name change was made in Canada on June 29th, but at the time, the Midvale, Utah company didn't specify a U.S. relaunch. They said it went off in Canada without a hitch. Everything's fine. And they've added 600,000 Bed Bath & Beyond items since its bid for the retailer became public last month. I'm going to have to go online and look at it because I think this is going to be an overwhelming website.
Yeah.
I don't know how many coffee pots I can go through. It's like when you go on Wayfair and you type in rug. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Yeah. 20,000. And then people were yelling at me, don't buy from them. They're non-union. I don't know anything about all that. But I didn't buy a rug from Wayfair because I can't.
Blue rug.
Blue rug. Doesn't matter. Oh, we have 7,000 of those. Would you like to see 585 a page? It's too hard. So good news for you Bed Bath & Beyond fans. A little bit of update. Oregon, finally, they did it. You can pump your own gas. And there's a lot of people who are confused, and they have to go get a how-to guide.
Stop.
I'm serious.
No.
And station attendants union slams the change as a blatant cash grab. How long do you want to live in 1930s? Come on. Of course, you're the only one besides New Jersey left.
Right.
And I think termites that live in other states besides New Jersey and Oregon wouldn't even believe that this still is happening in two states.
We're making fun of you.
The motorists in Oregon are expressing excitement and confusion after a 72-year ban on self-serve gasoline pumps that was lifted on Friday across the Beaver State. Drivers, I'm gonna make my cousin Tommy go to a gas station somewhere in Portland.
And just sit there.
Yeah, just sit there and see what happens. He's got a video of the whole thing there for me. Drivers took to social media to boast of pumping their own gas, while local news outlets published step-by-step instructions to help bewildered first-timers.
Wow.
Don't you guys ever leave your states? I mean, if you live in New Jersey and you have a car, you live in Oregon, have you never gone outside of your state?
Right.
It's like my mom would always go, I never even left the state of Missouri till I was 21. Well, Illinois is a mile that way. That's on you, Mom. You could have walked across that goddamn bridge. Boom, you would have been in Illinois. I think it's a lack of giving a shit. So don't brag like I was so poor I never got to leave Missouri. How about lazy, Mom? That's just lazy. But really, I don't understand how they didn't ever encounter this somewhere else and then learn how. New Jersey is the only one left.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Holding out for the mob.
A few countries also ban it, pumping your own. South Africa, attendants offer to check fluid levels and check the windshield. And expect to be tipped. Well, my dad used to tip the guy if he did the oil and all that. He'd tip him $5.
Oh, my God.
I don't know, the 70s?
The 70s. A whole decade.
Yeah. Yeah. One lady couldn't figure out which lane to pull in. She wanted to try to do her own, but it's just fucking confusing.
Where's the manual?
God damn it, there's 2 aisles. Which one am I supposed to go in? That's like when my sister in Jeff City, Missouri, they got a roundabout.
Yep.
Oh, it took 3 days of the newspaper putting it on the front. The local paper. This is how a circle works. Oh my God. They would pull out and then stop. I should have gone up there. It's when the kids were little, though. It was a while ago. But just to show, I mean, clusterfuck. You're going to cause way more accidents. Will traffic speed up? In theory, if people do it. Mm-hmm. But to pull out, and then my mom would go, "What's happening?" and just throw on the brakes. Well, we're going to get rear-ended. Right. That's what's happening. Yeah, so good for you, Oregon. It just makes me laugh that people are like, yeah, I don't know about all this, me doing this myself. They're not asking you to change your carburetor. No. They're just saying, here you go, if you want to pump your own gas. Update! This is my friend Mandy Matney's territory, really. But I did do the poor man's version of the Alex Murdaugh trial on here. Well, I just kept up with the headlines, but his accomplice is going to prison for 7 years. Boom. He was the lawyer that helped him set up the accounts that were bullshit accounts for the insurance money, and then he would just, Alex would rape the accounts. And they're saying this guy, he knew it. Then he's saying, well, I didn't know what he was taking the money for. I just set up the things. Bullshit. He's going to prison for 7 years. A traitor update. This hits close to home. Mm-hmm. Cardinals super fan, the rally runner, is charged by the feds.
The rally runner?
Yes. What's that? I'm going to tell you. The rally runner dresses in all red.
Come on.
A Cardinal baseball hat, and he runs around the stadium. He jogs around Busch Stadium, particularly in 2013 during Game 5 of the National League Championship between the Cardinals and the Dodgers. Oh, I believe my running strengthens the spirits for the Cardinals to get energy for a win. Before the Redbirds dropped, we lost. It didn't work.
Come on.
He's our rally runner.
That's ridiculous.
Well, we also have a rally squirrel, which I love.
What's going on in Missouri with the bank robber?
Yeah, we have a lot of weird people. We have a lot of weird, there's no denying it. It's never boring, though. No. He was charged, federal authorities charged a Cardinal superfan known as Rally Runner this week for being on the front lines of the mob that stormed the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2020. You know, and there's people out there, I won't mention any names, saying that January 6th was it was all fake and Antifa or it was all not what we think it was. I just do not understand.
An inside job.
Oh, yeah, we're in an inside job. I don't even understand, politics aside, I don't understand why people can't understand that every now and then a bunch of rednecks get together and do something terribly stupid. Rewind, yeah. Civil War. Fuck them. Really? You guys are going to go up the industrial complex of the Northeast, and you're sitting there in Alabama going, we can do it. No, you can't. And you won't, and you didn't. It's not that hard for me to go, yeah, okay, I could see that. I know, do I need to think there's go on the internet and find conspiracy theories? No. I think we're hoping that a conspiracy is other than what we have. Just right. Rednecks that got flagpoles and God knows what, and we're going in. Not everybody was a redneck, but there's a lot in charge. Yeah. Daniel Donnelly, he's facing 5 federal charges, including impeding or disrupting official government functions and obstructing the U.S. Capitol. Court documents say he donned his red signature face paint and kept a Keep America Great hat as he held a riot shield and led thousands of, he led them towards the building. He painted his face red and jogged around Busch Stadium. That was his thing. Yeah, I don't remember him. And I'm a Cardinals everything. I know usually what's going on there. Wow. On January 6th, when rioters broke into the Capitol in an attempt to overturn the results of the 2020 election, Donnelly posted a video on Facebook. There you go. Now here's where you're getting your hillbilly on. This is where you're getting your redneck dumbass side on. I'm gonna put it on the Facebook right now. I want to see how many likes I get by midnight. He said he was trying to not cause violence, but he was trying to get as far as he could. I got further than anyone, he said. I literally got further than anyone. I helped us get that far. Do you not think this is breaking and entering? I mean, I don't care if it's someone's home or a federal building or an art museum. You can't. Him on any video. I've never seen this guy on anything. He needs to simmer down. Oh my God, he legally changed his name to Rally Runner in DMV records. He helped the crowd pass a ladder to the entrance of the tunnel that led to the Capitol. That was my other thing, too. This is why you knew you got some super dumbasses out there on January 6th. My favorite part of the whole day. And I remember being home. I remember where I was standing behind the couch while it was on going, holy shit, I called my friend Chuck. He was in California. I didn't know if he'd be awake yet. I'm like, get up. Rednecks are going haywire, and they're going in to get Nancy and whomever else they can get. And they ain't kidding. But with a bunch of them were scaling the walls, and there were 2 perfectly good, gigantic staircases empty. There's no reason for the drama. Come on, Junior. What you fucking doing? Why are you scaling a wall like Spider-Man when we could just walk up? If that was an inside job, they got some of the dumbest fuckers ever to be, quote, inside. Wow. Sorry, I'm cussing too much today. I don't even know why. He was holding up a riot shield as members of the crowd sprayed chemical irritants items and screamed at law enforcement officers. Yeah, well, it's like pepper spray and stuff. Yeah. He put his fist up in the arm when leaving, appearing to encourage their group. Blah, blah, blah. Well, we're going to keep up and see how much trouble the rally runner gets in. I don't know. He is one of roughly half a dozen people from the St. Louis region and more than 1,000 nationwide. Oh, so half dozen in St. Louis. Nashville's got a few more, though. Let's just get down to it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's a little update. I did not know we had a rally runner. He wasn't that good because everybody knows the rally squirrel.
Right.
And
he didn't advertise.
No, he didn't do shit. Okay, that's all our updates. What are we watching? Well, this was a very strange thing. Mm-hmm. But I do think it's worth it if you like crime stuff. Yeah. I've also gone back and watched a lot of Boardwalk Empire because I started to watch it. Great show. And then I don't remember. I just got busy or I don't know. Maybe they took too long between seasons. Sometimes when they do that, I lose track of what they do. So that's taken up a lot of time. But this is on, I think it was on Netflix. Yeah. It's a documentary called The Lady of Silence. Ooh. La Dama di Silencio. But check this out. So in 1998, when a rash of killings seemed to be targeting Mexico's city's elderly women, many of whom were grannies, residents were up in arms. The mysterious murderer was a shadowy figure who had become known as the Old Lady Killer. In the end, the executioner, and I'm not ruining the story for you if you want to go watch this, because you're going to find out in the first 5 seconds what this is all about. This lady was a wrestling fanatic with broad shoulders and powerful hands, was not who anyone imagined. So I'm not going to tell you everything in here because it's worth it. Okay. But when they were looking for who was the killer, they just rounded up cross-dressing prostitutes and men because they thought it might be a guy. Mm-hmm. So a bunch of them. One lady has been in prison. To me, it's not funny, but she's like, look, I did a lot of shit, but I didn't do that. And I don't know why I'm still in prison because they just decided she did it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they made her go in front of the... Wait till you see, there's so many interviews with the Mexican police and then the Mexican media. You think our media can be bad, which it can be. Mm-hmm. They made this lady stand in front of the cameras and take questions. They made her hold a wig for some bizarre reason. Mm-hmm. She's holding a female wig. Mm-hmm. And then they just made her answer questions about how she killed all these people. And she's like, I didn't. I did not, and she didn't. Wow. But they, people always say, oh, innocent until guilty. But the one who did it, she was so upset with Lucha Libre, which is the Mexican wrestling with the crazy outfits and the crazy mask, which I love it. Yeah. She had a whole outfit. She had a whole personality. She hung out with the other wrestlers. Mm-hmm. They didn't even think that was weird. I would have been like, okay, if she's not really a wrestler, it's very weird. But she's like the biggest female serial killer in ever.
She had a wrestling outfit?
Oh, she had a whole outfit, yeah. Wow. And it said the Dama di Silencio on the back, the Lady of Silence. She had keychains made up. Yeah, she had merch.
That's awesome.
The whole thing is crazy. And she's a strong lady. I mean, she's big and strong and wide shoulders and stuff, and she just murdered all these old ladies and took their stuff. I think she says she only killed one. Well, there's 17.
Just one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
There's a lot. I think she's probably the most prolific. She should take the mantle on and then write a book or something. Because there's more than any other female serial killer I'm aware of.
You know my thoughts on that.
What?
Death penalty.
Death penalty?
Yeah.
Mexico? No, they just put her in prison for life.
Well,
Yeah.
That book then.
One guy walked in on her. That's how they caught her.
Killing someone?
She'd already done it, but the windows and doors were open, and it was his friend.
Oh.
Yeah, but she was just standing there. But then what do? I'd be like, fuck! I would run.
Was she dressed in her costume?
No, she was not dressed in her costume. She had a red blazer on and just looked like a normal older lady. The whole thing, it's something to watch.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Got it.
Holy shit, they found it. This is awesome. An 1,800-year-old Medusa mosaic was discovered in the remains of a lavish Roman-era house in western Spain. There's a picture of it. We'll put it in the show notes.
Nice.
The Medusa head in the middle of just the tile, the mosaic is fantastic, but the Medusa head in the middle is just the best. It's just amazing to me we're still finding these things.
Drought.
Yeah, the mosaic found at it's an archaeological site in western Spain, depicts Medusa at the center of a patterned octagon meant to represent the Aegeus of Athena, or shield or skin that held Medusa's severed head after the Greek hero Perseus beheaded the group. In the mosaic, Medusa is surrounded by massed geometric patterns and wildlife, including fish, and 4 other colorful peacocks that represent the 4 seasons. Yeah, everybody thinks of Medusa with snakes in her hair, but she doesn't have it in her head this time. She doesn't always have snakes in her hair.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So go look at a picture of that online. Super cool. The archaeologists have also uncovered a spectacular Samson mosaic in Galilee.
Where do the snakes go? From her head.
Where do the snakes go from her head when she doesn't have her snakes on?
Yeah.
I guess she takes them off her head. Puts them back in their terrarium. Aquarium? A terrarium?
Like extensions.
Pot? Probably one of those big old pots. Like a cobra pot. Have you ever seen those? An archaeological dig led by the University of North Carolina professor Jody Magnus has uncovered a spectacular mosaic in an ancient synagogue that depicts the legendary warrior Samson, whose uncut hair endowed him with super strength. Yeah, it's a very it's a crazy thing. Like, I can't believe these things have been covered up forever.
No.
According to the well-known biblical story, Catholics never heard of this. This is breaking news. In a story, the well-known biblical story in the Book of Judges. As a Catholic, I seriously have never heard of the Book of Judges.
No.
I believe it, I guess. I mean, I've heard of it doesn't matter what I've heard of. No, it's really relevant. Samson's love, Delilah, tricks him into revealing the source of his strength on the 3rd attempt. As he sleeps, she cuts his hair so he will lose his power. The Nazarite hero is soon captured, enslaved, and blinded by the Philistines. I've heard of the Philistines.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was always according to the Philistines. And I'm like, who are these people that think they have so much knowledge? These are the thoughts and sit in a pew at a Catholic church. I'm not supposed to be thinking them. No. According to the Philistines. I guess they were led by a guy named Phil.
Or Phyllis.
Phyllis, right. Philistines, yeah, it's Phyllis Diller's fans. She should have called her fans Philistines.
Philistines.
That'd be so funny.
That'd be funny.
In the end, God grants Samson the return of his strength, and he destroys the Philistine temple of the god Dagon at Gaza. Judges, and then it tells you where to find it. Yep.
Great.
One more thing of holy shit, they found it. It's a big week.
Is it your favorite?
Holy shit. Yeah, because no, I love the Medusa thing. That's the kind of shit I could say if that was at auction,
Yeah.
I could see buying that. I still think it should be in a museum.
Right.
But if I was a selfish little piglet, that's something I would buy. You know, instead of Steve Jobs' gross Birkenstocks. Ugh. Serbian coal miners uncover a Roman ship. How do you think that lunch break was that day? God. Archaeologists in Serbia are painstakingly brushing sand and soil off the ancient woodwork of a Roman ship discovered by miners in a vast open-cast coal quarry. After a mine was uncovered, I can't pronounce the name of the mine, uncovered some timber. Experts from the site of a nearby former Roman settlement known as something very hard to say rushed to try and preserve the ship. The second discovery in the area since 2020. Those Romans, boy, they didn't stop roaming around. I mean, they're in Serbia, there's sandals in Norway. Yeah. It may date back as far as the 3rd or 4th century, when, I'll try to say it, Vinicium was the capital of the Roman province of Moesia Superior and had a port near the tributary of the Danube River. It's the only thing I've heard of in that whole sentence I just said. We may assume that this ship is Roman, but we are unsure of its exact age. So there you go. Good for you guys. Now, there's a couple. This is so exciting. This is something. I wish I had more notice. I would go to this, and I would spend the money. I've already done it once on my own. I've hunted for Loch Ness.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I went with Lewis on a boat through the Highlands. Mm-hmm. And when you get to Loch Ness, there's 3 lakes that you go to on this thing that Lou organized. Loch Ness is the biggest. And I've said this on the podcast, but yeah, Lewis is like, are you really going to get up at dawn? Because we left at 6. The boat leaves at 6. You don't have to get up. But I'm like, fuck yeah, Lou. How many times in your life are you going to cruise Loch Ness? And what if I...
With a mimosa.
And I brought my tiny binoculars from home. For this reason, Lewis. For this reason. Well, I'll see you up there with coffee maybe about 8. I'm like, that's when you'll miss her. Because she's probably coming out in the morning. Well, I didn't see her, truth be told. I could also see how you could see things in that lake, because when the wind kicks up, the waves, it's very...
Deceiving.
It's deceiving. There's a lot of trickery with the way the lake goes. But anyway, this is happening for reals. August 26th, August 27th. The Loch Ness Centre in Scotland, which I've been to. It's in a little tiny town. It's set like a beautiful postcard, and they have a whole exhibit. It's just a wonderful place. It's calling for budding monster hunters and volunteers to join in what it dubs the largest search for Loch Ness monsters since the 70s. Boom! Because I watched this show. In the 70s, they did do a big thing. But think of how much better our sonar and radar and everything is since the 70s.
And
our fish finders. Right. Just on a shitty bass boat. My fish finder is really good. They don't come up as fish, and I wish they did. I wish it was a picture of fish, not just, I don't like that it's just a yellow blob. Why can't we, where's the nerds? Help out. You can make the fish move. I'm saying the picture on a fish finder doesn't actually show you fish. It shows you things that are happening. But beings.
Sonar.
Yeah, I want it to be a picture of a fish, and I want to see, is it a crappie or a bass or a catfish? Whatever.
You want it, Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah, just think of how much better our technology is these days. So, and I think if we find a giant eel, that counts. Because that's what I think this is. Mm-hmm. A giant eel.
Big.
It's a giant, well, there may be many of them. I'm not just saying one.
Oh, you heard it here first.
The Loch Ness Center is calling for budding monsters, honeys, and volunteers to be what it dubs the largest ever since the 70s. The visitor attraction said this modern technology, such as drones that produce thermal images of the lake, will search the water in ways that have never been done before. Excellent! The new surface water search for the fabled Nessie, planned the week of August 26th and 27th, is billed as the largest of its kind since the Loch Ness Investigation Bureau studied the loch for signs of the mythical beast in 1972. And I do think in 72, I've seen the movie, they did a good job. They lined up all the boats right next to one another. And then everybody hit forward. And then they just putted along. So technically you're covering
everything,
the whole lake. But is your timing right? What if she got behind the line?
Right.
The Loch Ness Monster is located at the Drumdragon Hotel, where in 1933, manager Aldi McKay reported spotting a water beast in the loch, the largest body of freshwater volume in the United Kingdom and one of its deepest. Wow. Yeah, does our radar go to the bottom? I think it did in the 70s, so it sure will now.
Yeah.
They will deploy drones equipped with infrared cameras so they can produce thermal images. Hydrophone will also be used to detect acoustic signals under the water. Volunteers. So if you're in Scotland or you happen to be going on vacation, if you want to give them a call, because you're going to be asked to be looking for any breaks in water movements with the guidance from experts on what to look out for and how to record your findings.
Excellent.
I would be there both days.
Yes.
Yep. I'm here.
You can.
Yep. Brought my own stuff. Don't you worry about me.
Who's got the beer?
Oklahoma. Oklahoma.
What's that?
Sometimes Oklahoma reminds me of Missouri with the headlines that come out of there. This was my favorite one this week in the Kansas City Star report. Well, this is where I saw it, in the Kansas City Star. Man thrust American flag through another man's head at Sonic, Oklahoma cops say. What are you doing, Oklahoma? Now, I'm also going to call this lazy reporting. Very Mitchell Willits.
Mitchell?
You can't put this information out and not finish it. You can't. An Oklahoma man is accused of thrusting a flagpole through another man's head at Sonic, according to Tulsa police. This is in Tulsa. Officers responded to a call about a stabbing at the restaurant on the city's south side about 7:30 p.m. on August 2nd, but arrived to find a victim with a large American flag lodged in his skull. Witnesses told police the guy didn't die, so that's why I'm laughing. The guy did not die. Don't think I'm being mean. Witnesses told the police they saw a man identified as Clinton Collins charge at the victim and stab him with the flagpole through his head. When asked, Collins said, "That's what he gets. He deserved it."
Oh.
Who?
What happened?
No,
Didn't make that happen.
He was taken immediately into police custody. It took longer to help the victim, whose injuries put firefighters in a delicate predicament. The pole entered the victim's head beneath his jaw and exited on the other side of his head towards his right temple. So it went here, through there, and is protruding, and it's a flagpole. So due to the size of the pole, the American flag, by the way, was still attached to the pole at the time. Due to the size of the pole, firefighters had cut part of it off to fit him into the ambulance.
Oh my God.
Miraculously, we were told the victim will survive his injuries, but will likely lose an eye. Yep, probably this one. I must say this one, where it went out his right temple. He refused to say what the guy did. But see, we don't leave the Sonic until we get the story.
Why does he have a flag and a pole at Sonic?
I don't know, but if I saw a man come into a Sonic with a flagpole with a flag on it, I'd go to McDonald's. I'd leave because it's not normal. There's something wrong with the person.
You can't go in Sonic. It's a drive-through. It's a drive-up.
Some of the Sonics you can go in.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Google that.
It's called Sonic drive-through.
Sonic drive-through, right? But they were inside.
Inside what?
At a Sonic, the city's south side. I don't know. I didn't know they were all drive-throughs.
Or no, drive up.
Drive up,
Sonic drive-in.
like A&W's, like back in the day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't go in any of them?
You can't, not unless you work there.
Oh, well, I don't know.
This is a parking lot incident.
Oh, this is a parking lot incident. That's even great. Maybe it was road rage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't it have been something, though, if you were in the car watching all of it? And you're like, this is the craziest day ever at Sonic.
Cheeseburger.
Yeah, how come nobody had their phone on then? Huh?
Oh
Huh?
my God.
Tulsa?
That's great.
How'd you not notice a guy with American flagpole running at another guy and then
I was on my phone.
Oklahoma. All right, Oklahoma. This isn't bashing you because I usually do stories about my own state. Well, I already did. This man, he looks like a wolf. He has a lot of hair.
Okay.
This is in Oklahoma City. A man is facing a misdemeanor charge after police say he jumped off a bridge with a homemade parachute into the Oklahoma River. A caller had told police dispatch that they saw a man on the side of the bridge with what looked like a homemade parachute. While officers were on the way to the scene, the caller said the man jumped off the bridge. Officers drove through Wheeler Park and onto a bike path to get to the river. When they got closer, they found Zachary McGee swimming in the river. Police talked with McGee, whom they recognized from previous calls. They said he'd been arrested several times for breaking into a burnt abandoned property on somewhere in Oklahoma City. Officer told Maggie to swim to the riverbank so they could help him out. Police say he argued with the officer for a short time. Then they went and got his parachute, which was really just a large tarp.
Oh, okay.
I don't know nothing about science. That's a science thing. I would think it would work. Wow. They asked why he jumped off the bridge, and police say he responded that he'd done it about 15 to 20 times before, and he tries to do it every day because he gets too hot.
What?
I mean, I probably shouldn't be laughing. This guy's probably mentally ill, but
You think?
police arrested him for violating a city ordinance that forbids jumping, diving, or throwing things off the bridge. Well, if you just did it once to test your parachute, I wouldn't think you were necessarily mentally ill. But if you do it all the time, like because you're hot, there's other ways to get not hot.
There's water everywhere.
Can we please talk about the fake bear at the Chinese zoo? The Chinese government, first of all, if you guys haven't seen the videos, it's like a Malaysian sun bear. They call them sun bears. And this thing's like waving and like clapping and pointing at people. I mean, there's no way a bear would do this constantly. And if somebody took videos from the back, it's clearly a bear costume because it has wrinkles in the ass.
Exactly.
Like, no bear has a wrinkly ass. A zoo in eastern China has denied suggestions that some of its bears were people dressed in costumes after videos of a Malayan sun bear standing on its hind legs and looking uncannily human went viral, fueling rumors and conspiracy theories on Chinese social media. In a statement written from the perspective of the sun bear named Angela, officials from the Hangzhou Zoo said people didn't understand the species. Really, there's these friendly bears just walking around where they're like, "Hi, Kathleen. Yeah, let's get a selfie." Even if it was a non-aggressive bear, it's not going to perform.
No.
I'm a sun bear, not a black bear, not a dog, a sun bear. In videos shared on the popular Chinese microblogging site Weibo, a sun bear had been seen upright on a rock looking out of its enclosures. Many users noted the upright posture, as well as folds of loose fur on its behind, making the bear look somewhat odd, fueling speculation that it's a human imposter. It might sound like an implausible gambit, but zoos in China have courted public ridicule for the past to pass their pets off like dogs as wild animals.
Oh. Wow. Come on.
They tried to pass off a Tibetan Mastiff dog as a lion. The visitors who had approached the enclosure expressed shock when they heard the, quote, lion bark. Oh, my God. Visitors at another Chinese zoo in the Sichuan province were shocked to discover a golden retriever sitting in a cage labeled as African lion enclosure. Maybe they put those heads on them, like the headdresses like they do on Instagram to golden retrievers, but they still don't look like a lion.
Like for Halloween.
And let's learn something out of this. Native to the tropical forests of Southeast Asia, sun bears are the world's smallest bear species. Adult bears stand at heights of only 28 inches high.
What?
Yeah. Of up to 70 centimeters, 28 inches, and weigh between 55 and 100. That can't be right. 28 inches.
70 centimeters is that?
That's pretty short.
Yeah.
It's not 28 inches, though.
No.
No. Sun bears are listed as vulnerable by the International Union for Conservation of Nature and are protected species in native countries like Malaysia. And their numbers in the wild are a threat by poachers and deforestation, declining over 35% in the last 3 decades, according to the conservation troop. The center cares for 43 rescued bears, each with their own mannerisms and unique personality. Not enough are known about sun bears. They're a forgotten species. Well, not anymore. Nope. Oh, they say that the bear's loose, saggy skin also performs an important function in the wild by acting as armor from predators, protecting them from deeper bites and injuries. If this is not a person, then we need to make as many of these sun bears as possible. I'm going to ask if I can rent 2 of them to open for me on the road. I bet they could shoot the t-shirt gun. Yep. Can I just? Yep. I'll bring them back.
I'd like to point out
Promise.
that every Pubcast we use metric.
On every Pubcast,
We use metric. I have to explain it to you.
metric comes up a lot,
Yeah.
and I'm not interested.
Okay.
Yep. I did that with Jimmy Carter in the 70s, and we didn't make it through.
No.
We quit. We quit when we got to a liter of Pepsi and went
We're good.
too fucking hard.
Yes.
Yep. We still have a gallon of milk, a gallon of gas.
Liter of Pepsi.
we are insistent upon remaining stupid. The rest of the world can do whatever it wants. But no, we ain't changing. We're fixing to stay ignorant. Ignorant. That is spelled IGNERANT. Ignorant. Oh my God! Huge news. Who wants the old light bulbs? Everybody wants the old light bulbs. Well, guess what? They're gone. Starting next week, Americans will only be able to purchase LED lights from retailers across the nation, as an official ban on incandescent light bulbs will go into effect. Now, here's what a lot of people don't know. It's very rare that I'm your hookup. Right. Okay? Right. But if you can plead your case and give me a good reason, my parents may or may not have hoarded all of the light bulbs one could ever imagine. They're in their basement, and they accept cash or traveler's checks. They probably accept, not Venmo. No. If you want yourself a good old, I'm serious. My dad started wherever he could find them, buying them. He's not going to live his life in LED lighting. I do a joke about it. One of my CDs, one of my specials, I don't remember which one. He went through this whole thing about the light bulbs it was Al Gore.
Poor Al.
Al was trying to do something, green or whatever.
Yes.
And all he did was piss people off, as always. Al could never read the room. No. No. I've got an idea about light bulbs. Al, stop it. There's more important. I'll never forget in the debate one time. Al, my dad was an old school Democrat, but I mean old school, not new school at all. Mm-hmm. One of the debates, Al Gore goes, well, what I'd like to talk about is daycare for every working parent in the country. My dad goes, why are we talking about babysitting? Do these people not have moms? Oh, Dad. I mean, we are a nation in an economic decline. We need to be talking about babysitting. I'm like, okay, Al, you're losing Jack. You are losing Jack by the hot minute. Anyway, I do a big joke. I did a big bit about it back in the day, but it's finally come to fruition. Coming Tuesday, while it won't be illegal to own the light bulbs, it will be illegal for stores to sell them and companies to manufacture them. The federal government's warning started in January. It's beginning more progressively aggressive, and they want to make sure Americans don't go back in time. Well, you are at Jack and Vicky's.
Right.
Yep. You're going to live, God damn it, like it's 1972, and you're going to like it. It's going to be so bright. The government announced the ban. Now everyone will have to purchase LED or compact fluorescent light bulbs instead. However, some critics of the ban calling it government overreach and they should let Americans make their own decision. Department of Energy says LED lights provide more light using 75% less energy and about 25 times longer than incandescent light bulbs. They're estimated to save families $100 a year. Not the Madigan family. No, we're going to be firing those bright bitches up left and right. You could see my mom and dad's family room. And you can hear it from space, too. Welcome to NBC Night. Turn it down. Turn it down. Why is that too loud? Little bit. Heard it when I pulled up in the driveway, Dad. I know what you're watching before I come in the house. Yep. So that's just a warning. If you're out there anywhere in your area, go to Ace Hardware, go somewhere. Lowe's, maybe. I don't know. Lowe's is pretty progressive on lighting.
Walmart.
You got to go somewhere where there might still be stuff on the shelf that nobody bought there. Just saying. It's doable.
Right.
Sad times here. The world's oldest man, Jose Paulino Gomez, dies at age 127.
Wow.
After putting down his long life to, quote, have a little drink. He's from Brazil. Mm-hmm. He was allegedly born August 4th, 1895. He leaves behind 7 grandchildren, 27 children, 25 grandchildren, 42 great-grandchildren, 11 great-great-grandchildren. He passed away on July 28th at his home in Minas Gerais, Brazil. He reportedly put his long life down to enjoying a little drink. He was born before the death of Queen Victoria, the Wright brothers' first flight, and the discovery of X-rays, local records claim. According to Cortovia Silva, the Seoul Registry Office in his hometown, said he married in 1917 at age 22. So then they did the math backwards. Mm-hmm. It's presumed he was indeed born before 1900. If true, he'd be the oldest person in the planet, in the world. According to official record holders, Spain's Maria Brañas, we've talked about her, she's 115.
Right.
We've talked about her.
Yeah.
Here in the countryside, people are usually registered when they're older. Jose's granddaughter told the local media there are several cases with incorrect documentation, but his documentation showed he was younger than he actually was. There's a lady nearby who's 98 years old, and she said she knew him when he was just a boy.
Oh.
That's when we became curious to confirm his age. We looked up the registry to find out what was correct. He was definitely over 100, at least 110. Now we will know how it has to be recorded on the death certificate. He was a very simple, humble man. His uniqueness that he didn't like anything industrialized, only things from the countryside. He raised chickens, pigs. His food was all from here, had to be grown or raised here. And he always liked to have a little drink. They don't say what, though. Yeah, I don't know what
Whiskey.
he was riding horses up until 4 years ago. He'll leave behind many stories and memories. They're said his cause of death was old age. The computer broke. At that point, do we need a cause?
No.
Unless it was like somebody murdered him with a American flagpole, then I need to know. But otherwise, no, I don't need to know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Another reason to drink.
Yeah.
Yay.
This story. Oh, here's my Tay-Tay thing. Yeah. It basically says what I already said, so I don't need to go into it. But
Good job.
yeah, good job. Good organization. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows, if you listen to this podcast, I really am a fan of Delta Airlines.
Yes.
For the most part, I love them.
Yeah.
There are days when I don't. But I really love my friends at the Delta Clubs because I know all of them. Mm-hmm. But it's just, I feel like, I don't know, it's a great airline all in all. Mm-hmm. So this is something I don't understand how this happens. Mm-hmm. Drunk Delta passenger who was served 11 drinks sexually assaulted a mom and a teen
What?
during a 9-hour nightmare flight. Even I don't think I could get through 11 drinks.
No.
No, I don't care how long the flight was.
Not even 9 hours. God.
Yeah. They let him walk off the plane without calling the cops either.
What?
Listen to it. A man on a Delta Airlines flight downed at least 10 vodkas and a glass of wine. Talk about vomiting on command. 10 vodkas, and then you chase it with wine? Before groping a 16-year-old girl and her mother, according to a lawsuit, flight attendants on the nearly 9-hour nightmare flight out of JFK blatantly ignored the pair's plea for help, including a demand to stop giving the abuser booze, according to federal papers filed in Brooklyn. Staffers then allegedly let the jailbait-loving drunkard quietly off the plane when it landed in Greece. Are you in first class or is he in coach? Because I don't see getting 11 drinks in coach.
No.
That's more than one an hour. They're not bringing those carts through. It had to have been business or first. Staffers then allegedly let him walk off the plane without notifying local police of an alleged assault. What happened to them during the flight was not just a nightmare. It was completely preventable. Flight staff allegedly served the man vodka, even though he was noticeably drunk. This is why we need bouncers on planes. I've probably said this before. Right. I sound like my dad now, where I just repeat things that I've already said 100 times. But, I mean, we have bouncers at comedy clubs because people are drinking, sometimes a lot. Why? I know that they always say, oh, air marshals. Well, if there are all these air marshals, how come all this shit's going down on planes and passengers and flight attendants are the ones that have to handle it?
Right.
You are serving alcohol in the air and you don't have a bouncer. It's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Over an ocean.
And if he goes super psycho, could do anything. Right. He frightened the teen by putting his hands on her back, making obscene gestures, screaming, and demanding she tell him her address and other personal information. He also told the mom he did not care that the girl was a minor. When the mom complained, a flight attendant blew her off, telling her to be patient.
Oh.
The unidentified man who mumbled that he was from Connecticut gave the mother and daughter a brief reprieve by heading to the bathroom to loudly puke before returning with a glass of wine.
Wow.
He threw up. Okay, but here's the other thing. Mom, daughter, where were you sitting? Well, we can totally find out who that guy was.
Right.
We don't have to, well, I don't know, I heard him mumble. He was from Connecticut. Don't you, what's your fucking flight thing? Where's your manifest? Show me your seats.
Nope.
How do you give him a glass of wine when he's big? Unless one flight attendant didn't know, say it's me and you and we're busy and I don't realize you've given Drunky 6 vodkas or whatever, and then he comes up and goes, can I have a glass of wine? And then I go, sure.
I think they,
Are they afraid if he's in first class, he's a rich person, he's going to yell at him?
I think they track that. I think. We need to ask a flight attendant.
I have a lot of flight attendants friends. I'll ask if they're tracking. I kind of don't want to know the answer.
Well, ask it after your flight.
Yeah, I'll ask it after I had my 2 screwdrivers to get to Los Angeles. Yeah, he came back with a glass of wine. Rather than move the man to a different seat, a flight attendant allegedly told him to stop talking to the victims, prompting an enraged, profanity-laced outburst from the drunk, who called her mom and kid fucking bitches.
Oh.
The teen began to have a panic attack and put her head down on her mom's lap, only to feel the intoxicated Delta's passenger's clammy fingers underneath her shirt climbing up her back, fingering her bra strap and moving over her body. When the plane landed, the flight attendants offered 5,000 free miles as an apology.
5,000 miles?
Not enough. No. Delta declined to comment on the lawsuit because it insisted it had zero tolerance for customers who engage in inappropriate. We need a jail. We need a jail chair. I'll call it a jail chair. Okay? Where we handcuff people.
That's what the duct tape's for.
Well, American Airlines going old school. They're going duct tape.
Cost savings.
Surprised they don't have a lasso. Just wrap you up like a cartoon. We need a jail area on a plane, and we need bouncers. And it's got to be 2 very strong people. I don't care if it's a man or a woman. The Mexican wrestler serial killer lady was super strong. It can be a woman, but we don't do this without bouncers. It's a crazy. Every bar on earth that's actually not just a little tiny pub has a bouncer.
They're suing Delta for $2 million.
They're suing Delta for $2 million.
Yep, $1 million apiece.
What's the latest update?
It was just filed. Delta's not coming.
Oh, it was just filed?
Yep. Wow. The flight attendant has been put on permanent leave.
The flight attendant, the one who gave him 11 drinks. Well, that's the other thing, though. Like, let's really throw this out there. I've never been told there was a limit, but I never crossed a line. But is there? Or is it personal discretion? Like a bartender. In the years that I bartended, there were people I cut off, and it's a giant problem.
Right.
It's an issue.
Yeah.
It's a fight. Mm-hmm. It's going to get ugly, usually, if you cut the drunk off, because now they're mad. Because you fed the monster, and now you told the monster there's no more treats. And then the monster goes, rah, rah, rah. Like, that's what happens. So, is there a drink maximum? If so, I've never heard about one. But I've also never pushed it.
Right.
Beyond, the long.
No-fly list.
Yeah. I don't think I'm on a no-fly list.
Call your agent.
No, I'll blame the other Kathleen Madigan, the smart one that writes global economic news. I'm going to blame that one. I'm like, no, that was my other cousin, Kathleen Madigan. This is a freaky story. Maybe, and this one with a little mystery. Well, I know this is a controversial topic, and I don't usually do controversy. Bud Light has now lost $400 million, and they still won't say whether they fired that lady. Right. Whose idea this was. Right. Her and the dude, whatever the dude.
Her boss.
This is where you need a new CEO, and this is why they say they won't. 400, and all kinds of bottlers have been laid off. Mm-hmm. It's getting really, really bad. American retails fell 14% in April, and all of this, like my bars out the Ozarks, I went with my sister, and she's like, look at those old redneck guys drinking Bud Light. I go, they haven't even heard about any of this. No. They'll hear about it 2 years from now and go, well, I guess I'll stop. Everybody's already going to be drinking Bud Light again. Well, people that like the beer, right. I don't even understand how you're that unloyal to your beer.
Right.
I mean, if that's your beer, it's your beer. But whatever. So there's normal people getting laid off and fired because of who? This lady's Alyssa Heiner Alyssa Heiner, who should have never been the vice president of marketing. You don't, And when, I don't know, some people in comments have gotten mad thinking, I'm not against Dylan, the person at all. I'm against you, Alyssa Heinerschneid, for not being able to read the room.
Right.
That's your job. Yep. Read the room. Yep. Do we need Bud Light cans to have things that are controversial? No. A dog a month. Oh, my God. Everybody be like, when are they doing the pug? Oh, my God, I hope they do a Yorkie. Oh, my God, August is Chocolate Lab. Come on. Get all the cans. It's our dog on there. Or they could have had contests. Put your dog on a Bud Light can. Can you imagine? There's so many easy ideas that are fun and friendly. They're not controversial. They're not getting in the mix of all these things. No. That you're just, beer supposed to be fun. Fun. Months ago, Anheuser-Busch decided to send some beer to Dylan Mulvaney, an openly trans influencer on TikTok. And now there's all the trouble. Whether you have a problem with corporations going woke or not, though, there are many conservatives taking real issue with the company, and it has led to serious financial ramifications for Anheuser-Busch. It also included. But here's the thing. Where is Alyssa Heinerschneid now? Understandably, given the fact that she's now in the spotlight, it's fairly hard to know for certain where Alyssa is. While some on the right have reported that she was fired by the company, Anheuser-Busch denies those reports. Well, Anheuser-Busch, that's part of the problem.
Right.
I think. You got to come out and say we fired her. She read the room wrong. Sorry. You have a job for marketing. It's supposed to be fun.
Yep.
And not controversial. That's our goal. We don't want to be in controversy. We are beer. Mm-hmm. To my understanding, if we publicly announce the word fire, it opens up potential for them to sue us. Fine. Let her sue you. Mm-hmm. Let Alyssa Heinerschneid sue you. Because even if she wins $5 million, that's going to be a lot less than you're losing.
Right.
And it would show that you went, okay, she read the room wrong. Beer's supposed to be fun.
Right.
Horsies, dogs, fun things. They also reported that Daniel Blake, her superior, was also fired. The source said Daniel was actually awesome but got caught up in the crossfire over the controversy. Wholesalers were told that I just can't even imagine what this water, you're sitting there at a lunch break and go, hey, did you mail a 6-pack to somebody named Dylan something? Yeah. She declined to approach. But this is where they've hemorrhaged money since the incident. If you lose me money and you work for this corporation, unless you have a really good explanation, bye-bye, chicken pie.
Right.
It's called work.
Well, and also, it doesn't matter what type of influencer you are. If you're an influencer, you're going to post that shit.
Of course they're going to post it. That's why you need to control who's posting what.
Right.
I hope Bud Light can get it back. I love Bud Light.
You better get back up.
Well, I just I got to get to the mothership in St. Louis, but I don't think these decisions are being made in St. Louis.
Where are they being made?
Fancier places.
Fancier.
New York, Los Angeles.
Oh, look at you.
Which, by the way,
Casting shade on the coast.
I'm just saying they're fancier. Is that not true? Do you not think Martha Stewart's area in Connecticut is better than South St. Louis?
No.
Well, it's fancier. And you can judge whether it's better or worse, but it's definitely fancier. Which, by the way, I want to call my next tour special Midwest something, and I need any suggestions from the termites.
Okay.
I would like to call it Midwest Queen of Love and Beauty after my mom's thing, because there was this it's called the VP Fair in St. Louis. It was rich white Protestants, and they had their own queen called the Queen of Love and Beauty at this big pageant.
We talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah, did we? Oh, a long time ago, right. But my mom would always go, stop that. You're never going to be the Queen of Love and Beauty. I go, not only am I not going to be that because I didn't do the dishes the way you want me to, we're also not rich and Protestant. I think the not rich and Protestant part is going to crush whatever you're threatening me with. Anyway, this is kind of weird. I don't understand how you don't have to say who you are when you buy things like land and homes. I don't think that's right. I think people should have to say who you are. But I guess you don't everywhere. A mystery buyer just purchased an entire California ghost town, Eagle Mountain, for $22 million. Wow. A road diverges. This is a good little night story. It's good. A road diverges in the Yellow Flats along the outer rim of Joshua Tree National Park. The 2 lanes in the middle of the desert peel off into Interstate 10, about an hour and a half from Palm Springs. I know exactly where that's at.
Good.
They break at the entrance of Eagle Mountain, a ghost town in California desert that has attracted continuous attention until its untimely end in 1983. Unlike any other ghost towns, Eagle Mountain never truly died. Now an unknown buyer has purchased the town to add a new chapter to its storied history. Formerly a company town for Kaiser Steel, Eagle Mountain provided a palm tree-studded oasis with 4,000 residents. Most were employed by the mine. Workers drilled, blasted, and shoveled the nearby mountains in search of iron ore. At the mine's peak, they broke records for daily production levels. It only took a few years for poor outcomes for the mine to shutter, evicting the population. Eagle Mountain rose from the arid brush at the end of the 40s to thrive a generation or two. Although it's mostly empty today, the town's destiny is not as barren as it appears. An employee of Eagle Mountain's now former owner spoke with the San Francisco Gate and was granted anonymity due to fear of professional repercussions in accordance with Hearst ethics policy. He mentioned how large red trucks have become a regular sighting. A for sale sign at the town's entrance promising rock products and minerals has been answered. The seller was an Ontario, California company called Eagle Mountain Acquisition, apparently the last of various Kaiser subsidies to own the town over the past 40 years. The buyer? Ecology Mountain Holdings, an LLC, with even more limited public information besides a Cerritos, California business address. See, I don't think you should be able to do this.
No.
This could be criminal money. This could be, I think you should have to clearly,
Foreign money.
not just in foreign money, which we do allow, but it needs to be tracked.
Right.
An LLC. I don't like it.
Nope.
When I'm never president, I'm going to do something about that.
Maybe Dolly bought it.
I don't think Dolly would buy the desert. I don't think she'd buy another mountain, another Smoky Mountain or something. Well, speaking of which, I'll talk about that next week. There will be a Queen update with Dolly next week. Mm-hmm. A few foremen live on the premises full-time to keep watch over Eagle Mountain. Palm trees poke out from the street they live on while the rest of the town remains preserved by dust. One night in the stillness, a foreman heard trespassers in the dark. The sound of a shotgun blast into the sky scared them off. Wow, they're just shooting shotguns at anybody. Within the mile-long town, there are a few hundred abandoned structures that once were homes, businesses, or community centers of idyllic village. Kids rode their bike along the landscape streets and were playing with chickens under a vast blue sky. One man even found himself gliding above Eagle Mountain in a paramotor to the soundtrack of Pearl Jam.
Oh,
Yeah.
how poetic.
It's really weird
Wow.
that this whole town is gone now because the thing is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And no, who bought it and why?
Exactly.
You don't have to say why you're buying something legally, but I think you have to identify yourself. This whole thing about everybody hiding behind corporations is just ridiculous. I want to see if there's anything else on here that was worth any. It just goes through its history of being
It'll flush out.
strange. It may or may not. Carole King filmed a music video for her 1993 songs "Lay Down My Life" at the cafe. Yeah, that's closed now. Yeah. So, I don't know. Does anybody know who bought it? Anybody out there in California? Any California people know about Eagle Mountain? $22 million.
Nice.
What if it's Zuckerberg? I always think of him or Elon. It could be Elon. He wants to shoot shit into space.
Yeah.
We also did find out, this is a termite sent this, so the big amusement park that's being built in Oklahoma, I mean, it's beyond an amusement park, the American Heartland themed park, because I was saying, who owns that? It's going to bring 5,000. Mansion Entertainment Group, based in Branson, Missouri. Mansion's portfolio includes television productions, short films, as well as hosting concerts and theatrical performances at the Mansion Theater for Performing Arts in their hometown. The venue has hosted artists like Kenny Loggins, Jeff Foxworthy. That's my friend. Yeah. Kathleen, Jeff, there's not two A's. Bob Newhart, no, Dennis. So that's who, and it's the guy The executive director for the creative team behind this park, boy, if they said, you know what, if they came and said, will you give money to invest? Like, I don't have a shit ton of money, but I would say some. Not a lot. I'll give you a little. Right. I just don't know about the location of this. No. I don't know. The executive creative director is multimillionaire Gene Bicknell. He's a native of Pittsburgh, Kansas. He joined the Pizza Hut franchise in 1962, just 4 years after the first location opened in Wichita. I did not know Pizza Hut was from Wichita.
Stop it, really?
Right. Wow. Yeah, and I was just talking to Heidi, my awesome agent. I think Wichita is going to be in the mix for 2024.
Spangles.
Spangles. That was a good little burger, and it was a good breakfast vodka slushy. I mean, what other quick in-and-out burger place has got alcohol? A bar, not just a beer and wine. That liquor license is harder to get. Slurpee. Yeah.
Slurpee.
Want a vodka Slurpee with your breakfast burrito? Yes! Anyway. Under Bricknell, the company operated hundreds of Pizza Hut locations worldwide, as well as taking over Tony Roma's and operating some Wendy's, too. He sold the company in 2006 for $615 million, setting off a tax battle with his home state. Wow. So that's who's doing that.
Great.
All right, termites.
We didn't do the song.
Oh, my lyrics.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What do we call this?
My new segment is called lyrics, but I don't know what I totally printed them out. I don't know where they went. May have to start next week. Well, I did Blinded by the Light. It made me laugh so hard. I know. Well, shit. Let me look one more time. Patience, termites. Patience. I don't think I did. I printed it all out. I don't know what I would have done. I may have to start next week. So I did think I read a bunch of stuff on YouTube comments. A lot of termites were putting stuff that their parents or friends or whatever thought was. I will do the wrong lyrics too, because at first I just wanted to make it the point. Like, I printed out Taylor's lyrics, and then shit we listened to and sang along with, having no idea. Those kids know exactly, but I just wanted to show the differences.
She has anthems for them.
Oh, I know.
And for them,
I will never, ever
get back together.
Jesus, okay, I got it. I gotcha. Gotcha. Message received. Simmer down,
And by them,
crazy youngsters.
I mean me.
I was really excited about the light bulb story. I'm just telling, that's where you learn things on this Pubcast. Oh, here it is. You learn that now you know, go hunt for the old school light bulbs if you want brightness in your home. I mean, I get the LED ones, but I like the old ones better too.
Yeah.
I side with my parents on that.
They work.
They're not as efficient, I get it. And, you know, the planet's like boiling, so I guess we should do nice
You
things.
should tell people that is recycled.
What's recycled?
That book you just turned over.
This?
Yes.
Yeah, I put it on the other side of the following week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't waste the paper, and they're the same paper clips. See?
It's great.
Also, I'm on the road 250 nights a year. I can't be held responsible for anything. I don't do anything. You know, my one friend like, why didn't you recycle that? But fuck it, I am here 50 nights a year, if I'm lucky. Don't you talk to me about what goes on in this house, because I'll tell you what, it doesn't go on that often. So I had my Tay-Tay story. Okay. So.
What do we call the segment?
Lyrics. Because people wrote it. I'm going to start printing out what people write in. They were so funny of what their parents. I'm sure this is old radio bit too. It's not like I'm thinking of anything new. But my point of the new part, wrong lyrics is an old thing, like radio stations used to do it. So, but it's fun. But my point is, Taylor's lyrics make perfect sentence. Perfect sense. And the kids are like, yeah. I remember when we broke up, this is her lyrics, the first time, saying, this is it, I've had enough, because we hadn't seen each other in a month. When you said you needed space, what? Then you come around again saying, baby, I miss you, and I swear I'm going to change, trust me. Remember how that lasted for a day? I say, I hate you, we break up. You call me, you love me. We are never, ever, ever getting back together. We are never, ever, ever getting back together. You go talk to your friends, talk to my friends, talk to me, but we are never, ever, ever, ever getting back together. Like, ever. Now, I like that song, but, like, that's why she's one of the many reasons she's so popular, because these kids want to say that to somebody in their life. I don't know who it was.
We are two of those kids.
We are never, ever. No. Here's what people my age were singing along to. Blinded by the light, revved up like a deuce, another runner in the night. Madman drummer bummers, Indians in the summer with a teenage diplomat in the dumps with the mumps as the adolescent pumps his way into hat. With a boulder on his shoulder, kind of feeling older, I tipped the merry-go-round. With this very pleasing, sneezing and wheezing, this callipy crashed to the ground.
What?
I don't know.
Right.
I just remembered I liked the opening. Blinded by the light. But a lot of people didn't know. I didn't know it was revved up. I thought it was revved up like a douche.
Right.
It's a deuce.
And nobody thought about that.
No, I thought, why? Well, at the time when I was probably 12, I didn't even know what a douche was.
No.
And then I didn't know why you'd rev it up. But it didn't matter. We just kept singing. Some silicone sister with a manager mister told me I got what it takes. She said, I'll turn you on, send us something strong, play the song with the funky break.
There you go.
And a go-kart Mozart was checking out the weather to see if it was safe outside. And the little early pearly came by in his curly whirly and asked me if I needed a ride.
I mean, what?
I sang this whole song. I've never seen these lyrics in my life until now. That's just versus Tay-Tay's. I think Taylor is giving you a clear message. You're going to say this to your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever it is, the children, whoever you got that you're mad at. We are never, ever, ever, ever. And then I love at the end, like ever.
Like ever.
If the first four didn't get through your thick skull. All right.
I like it.
Okay, termites. In our business wrap up, we got Cape Cod. I'm coming your way. I can't be stopped.
Saturday.
I'm so excited. My brother and his wife and the kids are going to be there. Kate Madigan from the New Jersey Devils and her dad. Yeah. My friend Kelly McFarland will be opening. She will be, yeah. And my friend John and his wife Kathy are coming. And my neighbors, Jeff and Debbie. I've named them Jebby. My neighbors here, not there. They're going to be there. So I thought I was going to be able to sneak out and do a show and just hang out and goof off, but there's a lot of people coming. So I guess I got to figure out something to wear.
Yeah. Something you got to go to cleaners.
I am.
You're driving the whole Cape.
I'm going to drive the whole Cape. Never done it before. Merchandise, new T-shirts restocking this week because they sold out so fast. No problem. And a new trucker hat.
Yep.
Now, I haven't gone further enough in this schedule, so I'm going to go further to remind everybody. This is the wrap-up. September 7th, Boise, Idaho. September 9th, Reno. September 14th, Hershey, Pennsylvania. 15th, Pittsburgh. 16th, Cleveland. 21st, Eau Claire. September 22nd, Madison. September 23rd, Chicago.
What are you doing in Chicago, Kathleen?
Well, I'm going to save it for next week.
You said that last week.
I know.
You're afraid, aren't you?
I'm a little afraid, yeah. I am a little afraid.
You're afraid.
I'm a little terrified. I have to run it by two St. Louis people first.
Okay.
October 6th, Richmond, Virginia. October 7th, Charlotte, North Carolina. 13th, Des Moines. 14th, Kansas City. 20th, Virginia Beach. 21st, Washington, D.C. 27th, Fort Worth. I'm very excited about that because I haven't been to Fort Worth since the old days of the comedy club because I usually just do Dallas and then they won't put because they're not they stay in their own area. I don't know why but whatever. I'm very excited. Stay in your own rodeo. You don't need to be going into the big town and you don't need to be going in small town.
Nope.
Although Fort Worth is huge now and it's so fun. October 28th, Houston, Texas, where I will be going to where? Ninfas. It's probably the best Mexican in the country, I'd say.
I agree.
November 4th, St. Louis, hometown gig. Where are we drinking afterwards? That's all my text. That's all the text. And I'm like, well, we didn't really get tickets. You have you don't even have to come to the show.
Right.
Just come to the party. Right. November 11th, 2 shows in Denver, Colorado.
Yeah.
All right, termites, Be your good summer termites.
People were asking about your kayak.
People are asking about my kayak. The kayak that I usually take out, well, it's the only one I have. I was doing a gig in Petoskey, Michigan, which is way, 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 way up at the top. And I walked down because I had nothing better to do. They were having a boat show right in the harbor in the bay. It was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But there was this company just out front, like there were all these tents with boating and kayaking stuff, called Paddle North, based out of Minnesota. And that kayak is a blow-up thing, but it's made out of bamboo.
Inflatable.
It's inflatable. I said blow-up thing. You want me to be technical? This is an inflatable kayak made in Minnesota, which is a Midwest state in the northern Midwest in the middle of the country, just south of Canada.
It's a blow-up.
It's a blow-up deal. You just get one of them. But it's made out of bamboo, so the top's really hard. But here's the greatest thing, especially for traveling when I drive to gigs, if I want, you can roll that thing up and it fits in a gym bag. It's astonishing.
Wow.
It was not cheap.
No.
Like I could just go up to Dick's Sporting Goods and get the $300 one that's sitting out there, but I can't roll that fucking thing up. And I sure as shit am not trying to put it on the roof of my car and, I'm coming down to Chattanooga. And then that flies off and then I kill someone. I'm not doing that.
You want lime green or pink?
Yeah. Well, that's a Libre problem. Every time I see those things outside of Dick's Sporting Goods, I'm like, I could stand here all year and not make a color choice. I love the blue. It's happy.
Yeah.
The green is more like, can't. This is a Libre issue. Other Libras will understand.
Maybe stickers on it.
Stickers on it, no, too complicated. But anyway, if you see that and you liked it, just go. They have a website. They have sales every now and then. It's not cheap, but it's gonna last forever, and it goes in a gym bag.
Yeah.
I can take it anywhere I want. Throw it in the back of the car.
It's fun.
I can paddle all around Tennessee and Missouri all I want.
You like
I can
it?
paddle.
You like to kayak?
I love it. Yeah, I've taken it everywhere. I don't have a good sense of balance. I mean, my nickname as a child was Grace because all I did was fall down. Nobody ever thought about, hey, I wonder if that kid's super duper nearsighted. Yeah, I was 13 before I got glasses. No need. Don't worry about it. Haven't seen shit since the day I've been born. I remember when I saw a leaf and I was like, whoa, look at the detail. I knew I couldn't see when we would play the license game in the car and everybody was guessing shit left and right. And I didn't know till we were actually on the car's bumper. I'm like, oh, I got 2 zeros. What? It's over. Anyway, I am not very graceful. So the paddleboarding, I'd rather kayak.
Cool.
I have their paddleboard too.
Nice.
But
I'm going to borrow it.
I just find it, I don't know. Plus, I'm getting older. It hurts my back.
And you need a dog, so you look like a postcard.
The what?
Baby cat would hate it.
Baby cat doesn't want me injured. How's baby cat gonna live like the queen that she's meant to be if her main servant, her main butler is down for the count? She can't have that.
The queen of love and beauty.
Midwest something. Come on, termites. Let's think of a name.
Yeah.
Midwest etiquette, because we don't really have any. Midwest polite. There's a difference. Midwest drunk. That's a big difference. Because if you say drunk to Wisconsin people, it's a very different definition than California.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I'll think of something. But I want to shout out and respect the Midwest.
Yeah.
Not that I don't respect everywhere else, but that's where I'm from. So,
Great.
yeah. That's it, termites. It's not so hot here.
Still summer.
It's still summer. Enjoy your time off. Although the kids are going back to school.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I'm not going to get into it, but I think I don't know. Working parents might like that. And then some of my friends who have kids and jobs and all that, they're like, they'd rather go all year round, which is vacation breaks, which I think is kind of probably the answer.
Yeah.
This whole old school shit of I have 3.5 months off in summer and my mom's locked us out since June 11th and it's now, even we got bored of summer.
Right.
We're like, whoa, this is still hot. How long are we going to keep doing this? I would get excited to go back to school, but I think that would make a lot more sense for people who have to work. And then your kids you have these vacation times and maybe you can plan them, rather than here they're off all summer, sign them up for 100 camps that's going to cost you $1 bazillion and they may or may not want to go to. Right. And then you're going to end up drinking more because you're going to feel bad about that.
You should run for office.
I'm not running for office.
Okay.
No. No. Okay, that's it.
Still summertime here.
Night, night,